Up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? It's your man Dre Mac coming to you again with another episode of the Dre Mac Show. Today, I'm going to be doing a reaction, but do a reaction to my man eMan from eMans Movie Review. He was talking Jonathan Majors, the Jonathan Majors case, and I personally want to do a reaction, not to the whole video is like 40 minutes. I'm not doing all that. But there was something that was quite interesting that I didn't see eye to eye with. And again, I don't want this to be, oh, you're reviewing this video, you must have a problem with eMan. Nah. eMan's a good dude. eMan has been on my channel before. Long time ago during this little thing called the pandemic. It's just something that he was saying in the actual video that I want to just give him something to think about. And it's funny because I was literally like rewatching our video. This is when I first got StreamYard, and I didn't have a fancy camera, and I was using my phone and also recording it live on speaker radio, and the audio was not good, and this is my first time doing this and all of that. And was going back and just looking at that and like, wow, look how far we came. You know what I'm saying? Look how far the channel was came. You know what I'm saying? Since that, I didn't have, I mean, at that time I didn't have no subscribers for real. You know what I mean? I was struggle streaming for real, for real. I was just trying to get off the ball with this whole YouTube thing. So anyway, I'm rambling. So I'm gonna talk about that. And was T'Challa a Skrull? I know y'all seen the thumbnail. I know y'all seen that. Like, who the hell photoshopped this? It was me. But yes, I'm going to have the discussion. Was T'Challa a Skrull? Because now we didn't know Nick Fury's wife was a Skrull. How we know the King of Wakanda wasn't a Skrull. You know what I'm saying? And we see Everett Ross as a Skrull. We don't say he was the definitive Skrull or whatever, but he was a Skrull. So who else was a Skrull? Maybe the King of Wakanda is a Skrull, and maybe he's out here on a mission, or maybe he's in one of those machines. We don't know. But you know how we do it around here. The real question is, oh man, hopefully you guys are having an excellent start to your Thursday, wherever you are. And I want to give a special shout out. I haven't done this, but I was looking at my analytics and seeing what a lot of, new subscribers, or where some of my subscribers are coming from. And I got subscribers in India that's taking up a good portion of the people who follow me. So whoever is in India that's watching my video, shout out to y'all. Because when you think about this whole YouTube thing, you forget this is nationwide. This is everywhere. And sometimes you forget, man. People are watching me in India. Wow, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's awesome. So whoever is watching the Dre Mac Show in India, or you watching this replay, thank you so very much for supporting my channel. You know what I mean? Australia also. You know what I mean? Shout out to you guys. It's just like I said, it takes you back, because I got some Americans up in this piece, but man, can I get a little bit more? I need some blurred ladies up in this mug too, man. Supporting the brother. What he do, you know what I mean? So yeah, so I'm gonna talk about what's T'Challa a Skrull, Jonathan Majors news. I'm going to do a reaction to eMan's video today. And eMan just, in this video, which I'm going to share here because I was going to talk about Jonathan Majors yesterday, but I was so invested in doing a breakdown for Secret Invasion, I didn't even go there. And for what I understand is that the young lady who my man and go watch Chillmonger's video. I retweeted it on my Twitter. Go watch his video. His video is so hilarious. On point, but so hilarious. He doesn't even call this young lady by her name. He calls her Stephanie McMahon. It is classic Chillmonger. And I loved every minute of this video. I'm not going to lie. Very informational, very good. Please make sure that he's a friend of the channel. If you're just now, catching up with me or you're just not watching me for the first time, Chillmonger, Back of the Bus, Be Real with D Real, Tim Talk, SSK Dot, Planet Fanatics. These are all guys that's friend of the channel. I'm trying to see if I missed anybody from who does the whole blur thing. That talks about this stuff. Shout out to my boy Snide too on the shoe reviews. Him and Sticker Lover, who's both YouTubers and does the sticker reviews. But my blurs, you know what I'm saying, who cover the same things that I cover. You know what I'm saying. Make sure to give them a shout out too. I still got to talk to Blues House. Does the same thing. Well, I don't know why me, Blue, and Mika getting ready to do this show here. Popcorn in your beer. I guess because I shout them out all the time. But Blues House Live, you know what I'm saying? He's been on Jonathan Majors covers, so and if you want to watch some funny movie reviews, check out Popcorn in Your Beer. But yeah, these are the channels who've been covering the Jonathan Major stories and stuff like that. So shout out to them. You know what I mean? Of course, we're going to be bringing you a brand new show here on July the 10th, the Blurred AF experience. That's going to be with Mika G, me, and Blue. So, Mika G is the host. She's the lady that's going to be hosting. So, she's doing her thing. I'm proud of Mika. Shout out to Mika G. You know what I'm saying? Real hip hop. Nah, I took that from don't pay me no attention. Don't pay me no attention. But anyway, let's get to this. Let's get to this. Now, this is eMans from eMans movie review. And I'm gonna so I can be able to see me. This is eMan from eMans movie review. This is his thoughts in his view. Again, this is his thoughts and his view on the Jonathan Majors case. He talks about racial bias in the charges. I'm gonna put the link in the description once this is over. That talks about this case. So you can go and watch it in its entirety. He does an excellent job of breaking down. It's just certain things that there's certain things that he says in here that because I worked and I gotta find my picture where I worked as a correctional officer for the city of Kansas City back in the day, and I worked there for 4 years. And what we of course we were regular, what you call COs or whatever, but a lot of times we would have to go down downtown, especially if we work during the day. We have to go downtown and sit with the inmates in domestic violence cases. And because we worked in, with a lot of our inmates were DV cases. I sat in on, when I tell you I sat in on a lot of cases, I sat in on a lot of cases. And I'm not going to sit up here and say that I'm a lawyer and I know the law, but it doesn't, either you go to jail and learn the law, or you be a part of the jail and learn the law. You don't even have to be an attorney. You know what I mean? You can just sit back and listen. You know what I'm saying? And everything will come to you. And I wish I could, if I find this picture when I was a CO. I mean, I thought I was cool because I had my little glasses on. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was cool. But that whole entire time though, the whole entire time, that I was a CO, I got to learn, you know, the law, and I got to learn how certain things work. And when you're not a part of that environment, and you know, you're an average dude, you're a law-abiding citizen, you don't go to jail, you know what I'm saying? You don't have family members that's constantly in jail, like some of the folks that I know personally. I'm talking about, when I'm talking about personal, I'm talking about the personal. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm personal. You know what I mean? Go to jail all the time for different stuff. Then, you know, I mean, you have a different perspective on that, and I'm not taking away from his perspective because I don't know his background. But for what I do know, he's never said that he's worked in the criminal justice system or known people who constantly go into the criminal justice system over and over and over again, like folks that I know. So, um, you know, let's get to this real quick, and I'm going to take care of William. What's going on? Shout out to William Molot coming in early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Let me read this before I go forward. It says, I think the Kia and T'Challa are Skrulls and Wakandans are currently being replaced, and Baku is also probably a Skrull at this point and has been given the right to rule over Wakanda. That's a good theory. Very good theory. Um Nakia and T'Challa were outside of Wakanda at the time, and it's possible that the Jabari got taken over as well because they live in a traditional lifestyle outside of the main city of Wakanda. You have a valid point, but when we get to that, if you hold on and just stay with me on this ride, we're gonna get to that here in just a moment. You know what I mean? So, let's get to. I gotta find that picture so y'all don't think I'm lying. I mean, I straight look like Day Day from Friday. Look like a snitch. Look like you about to tell on somebody right damn now. No. let's get to this part. Hopefully, I'm at the right spot. So let's get to it because this is not timestamp. So
Was an altercation. Even if there was any of this stuff, there was no substantial pain. There was no pain in the finger. There was no bloody ear. We saw all of this stuff on video. That's why Jonathan Majors' lawyer is trying to push that this ain't what happened. You saying that you had this bloody finger that, by the way, you don't even know how that happened. That's on body cam footage, accordingly.
and what he did not point out is that you can actually play the audio from TMZ. But remember the strangulation. We've talked about that. If you follow the channel, we talked about the strangulation charge has been dismissed. There was no marks on this young lady's neck or anything. There's no bruising around the face because he said he struck her. And I'm thinking the guy that size would have struck this skinny little white woman. Her head would have been in this dude's lap. Just being totally honest with you. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't look like there was any marks or anything on this young lady's face or on her neck whatsoever. Let eMan keep cooking. Let's go.
Supposedly, but there is no actual pain when you was with Jonathan Majors versus much later. Okay, so that misdemeanor, maybe that will get tossed out. I don't know, but that's not all. There are more charges that are.
So let me give you kind of a backstory. So what eMan went and did was he pulled up Jonathan Majors' case from the city of New York. So he's looking at everything that was dismissed but still pending. So that's why you see this screen here. Let me full screen it for you if you can't see it or you're watching this on your phone. This is what he's talking about here. He is just saying, hey, you know, this misdemeanor, one count of arrest charge, arrangement, charge for criminal assault with intent to cause physical harm, dismissed. Harassment in the second degree, physical contact, dismissed. Reckless cause of physical assault, recklessness causing physical injury, dismissed. Aggravated harassment, number 2, you know what I'm saying? Which is PL 240.304. That's been dismissed. But what hasn't been dismissed is the top charge of recklessness causing physical injury, harassment in second degree, physical contact, assault with intention to cause, that's been dismissed. I'm sorry. Aggravated harassment, assault with intent. You know what I'm saying? Assault with intent to cause physical injury. What all this means is, what basically all this means is that he made a verbal threat. Now, this is the thing with verbal threats. If you don't have it captured on film or in any type of text message, carrier pigeon letter, it don't matter. It has to be something legible. You know what I mean? To say this is where Jonathan Majors threatened my life, were to the point that I was scared and I need to seek asylum from this person. I need to, get away from him or whatever, because eMan's main argument is what happened beforehand, before they got in the car. It was like, okay, if you could prove that this woman hit him, got it, he fled out of the car, you know what I mean? When he fled out of the car, she went and grabbed him, snatched him back in the car, which tore his coat, you know what I mean? The video camera, the footage from a street, street lamp or whatever, you know what I'm saying? There's footage of that, right? With all of that said, what happened beforehand? Can the city of New York prove that this all happened prior to them getting in the car? Now, again, if it was harassment, harassment is, I'm going to slap you. I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to put my foot so far up your ass, you're going to be smelling my goddamn soul for the rest of your life. And I ain't talking about the ones inside my body. There has to be a harassment to the point where she feared for her safety. That's what it has to be. You don't even have to be a lawyer to understand harassment. You know what I mean? But that harassment it can be anything. You know what I'm saying? And especially when it says aggravated harassment, assault with the intention to cause physical harm, which means I am harassing you to the point where I'm causing physical harm. The problem with that is, if that was the case, why did you get in the car with him? And why was you tossing and fighting for this man's phone if you knew he was harassing you with the threat to cause physical harm? Number two, if that was the case, if you had tangible evidence, TMZ would have bought it from you. TMZ would have bought that from you. Why? Because if you're trying to slander, if you're trying to make sure that y'all, again, I can say whatever, but if I don't have the evidence, then it doesn't matter. It's not what you know, Jake, is what you can prove. So if I can prove, hey, look, here are the text messages here. I sent them to TMZ. Let's see how your career lasts then all of this that we're seeing would have slammed. Jonathan Majors wouldn't have been able to come back. No matter what he says about him being innocent or whatever. If you have a text, email, carrier pigeon, a tablet written in stone like on the Flintstones, whatever. You know what I mean? He on the phone. I recorded the phone call. You know what I'm saying? I took video like what they did with Tyreek Hill. I talked about this when KCTV5 chopped up the whole Tyreek Hill conversation, the 13-minute conversation that he had with him and his former ex, his kid's mom. You know what I'm saying, about him injuring his son. And the way that they spliced it made it seem like he was harassing his kid's mom. And I made a video. I was on my podcast, my audio podcast, and I said what I said about that until I heard the 13-minute conversation, and then the whole entire thing switched up because now we have it in full context. You know what I mean? And when you have something in full context, then you can be able to have a tangible argument. But if this woman clearly had evidence that Jonathan Majors, you know what I mean, really was threatening her prior to them getting in the car, this would have been, trust me, TMZ would have bought it. Trust me on that one. Trust me. They don't have got a tip on their TMZ page if they didn't want you to be able to buy the information so they can be able to do what TMZ normally does. And normally when it comes to this stuff, TMZ already got it. So let's not act like that can't happen. But I'm going to let eMan cook. I want to explain give it some context, but let me let eMan cook. And again, make sure you like, share, subscribe to eMan's channel. You know what I mean? And if eMan, if you turn around and you see me tag you in this and you watch my video, if you want to get at me or whatever, make sure to holler at me on my inbox on IG. You know how we get down.
Are also there, and this is why it's so messy. Okay, so they already dropped one of these things that dealt with I don't know which one it was, with the strangulation or neck bruises. They already dropped that. Okay, but this one right here, this top charge of a third degree reckless assault, maybe that goes into the finger or the ear injury. Maybe, I don't know. But here's the one that also gets me a little nervous. And it's this harassment of second physical contact. This is a charge, okay? This is a charge that they can put on them. Aggravated harassment. Hold on, let me make sure I got my numbers together. Let's see, 2440. Okay, 24. Hold on, it was this one. Okay, well, this is another one. Aggravated.
Now, I do like the fact that he did bring up the law, so he's bringing up the law. He's bringing up the law, so I kind of want to put this in context. He's bringing up what the penal code means. So let's keep going.
Harassment. It's another one, right? I want to get my numbers together. All this is, okay, this is what the aggravated harassment is in the second degree. With intent to harass another person, the person either communicates anonymously or otherwise by telephone, computer, or other electronic means, or by mail, transmitting or delivering any other form of communication, a threat to cause physical harm to or unlawful harm to the property of such person, a member, yada, 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 yada. So basically what that means, harassment on that level means if you sent a text message, if you called somebody or something that threatened harm, you could be charged with that charge. And that is the part where I am like, do we know what actually happened? Do y'all have all the text messages? Do you know all the phone calls that were made?
Now, this is where I'm going to have a little pushback on eMan. And this is the only reason. I can make a phone call, but if it's not recorded, this is the problem. If it's recorded conversation, right? Kind of like when they got that owner, what was it, for the Phoenix Suns? That's because she recorded the conversation to hear him being racist. Hell, Hulk Hogan got put. That's how Hulk Hogan went down. He recorded conversation. He was just, well, if you go get you a nigga, let him be an NBA player. If you gonna get you one, well, all right, hoaxer. I guess it wasn't too bad that Booker T called you a nigga, huh? You know what I mean? It's a recorded conversation, so it has to be proven without a shadow of a doubt. You know what? I got it. I got the recording. I was recording it when we was in the car. You know what I'm saying? Or we was at the house. I got a recording. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna put it to you like this. I've seen a situation where it's a he say, she say. They take the man to jail, and the cop literally, I've seen this for myself. And the cop literally said, if you already recorded the conversation, hey, if you have a situation like this in the future, make sure you record it. The reason why, 9 times out of 10, the man is going to jail. That's bias. Unless you can prove that she's whooping your monkey ass, you're going to jail because you're a man. I hate to say it. This is the way it goes down. So again, out of these 4 months that this has been going on, because it's July, right? This is July, bro, about to be July. 3 months that we've been going through this over and over again. If she would have had a text message, email, phone call recorded, I guarantee you, with especially with them, basically the insider has been, and shout out to the Laura Italiano from the insider. Shout out to her. She has been on this case as of late. You know what I mean? If they would have had anything, especially with her basically now being flipped in the news, oh yeah, TMZ would have had that. Trust me when I tell you, TMZ would have been like, oh, Y'all thought Jonathan Majors was innocent, right? He's been saying he's been innocent. I got a bombshell for you. We got the video. We got text messages. We got emails of this man harassing her repeatedly. And here we go. And then everything he said will be completely almost thrown out the window. And he really got to prove on this date that he didn't do it. That's where I have pushback because they don't have it. And it's so close to the court date. What are you going to say when you're a district attorney if you're fighting this case if you don't have any evidence? Again, it's not what you know, Jake, is what you can prove. And if she can't prove that that man harassed her prior to them getting, and then this is the thing. If this man was harassing you, why did you get in the car? If you feared for your life, if you feared that this man was going to do physical harm, this is all the things that a lawyer would sit back and be like, well, why was you in the car? Well, why was you using this man's credit cards? Running up $5,000-$6,000 on this man's card. And then why, if you felt this man, Jonathan Majors, was so much of a threat to harass you to the point where you felt that your physical being was threatened, that you go in his house with the key, fall asleep in the man's closet half naked, and you threw up in his bed. Because that's what I'm going to throw back. That's the pushback. And again, there's been so many times that men have went to jail just based off of what a woman said. Brian Banks, go back and find the Brian Banks situation. It's one of the most horrific things that you could possibly hear that happened to a man. That woman lied on him and said that he raped her. And I don't mean Welchers. And then what ended up happening? That man went to jail, went to prison. They found out that this woman is lying. Do you think she went to prison? She got paid too. This man was on his way to having an NFL career, one of the top recruits in the whole entire nation. Life thrown away over a lie. So all of this information is very sensitive to me. Very sensitive to me. And nothing against eMans. I'm not saying anything bad or eMans just wrong, but this is what I would counter him with. Let me keep going.
Do you know all the people that might have heard this or that before they got into the car? That's where I'm sitting here like, yo, I don't know. And I'm not saying something happened or didn't. What I'm saying is, I don't know if that is what the DA is leaning on. The DA might be like, oh, okay, you can have your broken finger. Oh, okay, you can have the bloody ear. We ain't even gonna deal with that. We gonna deal with this text message. We gonna deal with this person that overheard this phone call. We gonna deal with this XYZ other evidence that's not made public yet that, I don't know, Jonathan Majors maybe threatened her in some way. We don't know that. And that's why I'm saying we got to be very careful jumping to conclusions, because clearly, let's not forget, the DA also went and had several women that supposedly are also saying that Jonathan Majors, harassed them or was mean to them. I don't know.
But even in that, it just says multiple. So multiple is just two. So 2 or more. But again, you have to have the evidence. In this case, let's go back to the original case. You can go before, you can go after. The case was that Jonathan Majors called 911 as a wellness check because this young lady was sitting in his bed. When he found her, she was in the closet half naked after drinking and taking pills to threaten to commit suicide. So he checked her. The police felt probable cause to arrest him, even though he was the one who called the police, and he explained what happened prior to that. Him and Bookman found this young lady in the closet. Let's remember that just for a second. Number 2 is that if something happened prior to, right? What evidence have you proven? Yes, we don't have all the evidence. But then the question from the defense is, If that was the case, why are you in the car? Can't you leave? If he was this, think about this for just a second. Me and a young lady, we're dating. Let's say hypothetically, me and the young lady are dating, right? This young lady told me she was gonna blow my face off. I'm terrified at this point now. Am I not doing everything I can possible not to be in this young lady's presence because she threatened to do something to me? Why do I need what at this point? Why am I in the car? Why am I riding with this person? Why am I doing anything with this person? I feel threatened by this person. I'm not hopping in the car with you and you threatening my life. What the hell? In the end, you were so afraid that you snatched the man's phone because you thought he was texting other women? Does this like logically? I'm just again, I love eMans. I wish you nothing but grace and prosperity. Shalom to that brother. But I'm thinking about this in a logical sense. If something happened prior to it, you can say Jonathan Majors was mean to me, but can you prove it? No. Well, then what does it matter? I don't give a fuck what you talking about. If you can't prove it, what does it matter? In the court of law is what you prove. What you is not what you know is what you can prove. I might know something, but can you prove it? I might know Jonathan Majors is an asshole, but can I prove it? I can say, oh, well, when I was a Yale, he yelled at me. Well, can you prove it? This ain't the case. This is like when they talked about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was a dick. He was an asshole. He did this and the other. I heard he punched somebody. Well, can you prove it? Yeah. I can prove it now because here's the person he punched. And he even admitted I punched this guy. That's what you could prove. But if I just say, oh, well, Michael Jordan was a horrible teammate. Well, can you prove it? Well, no, because I won 6 championships. Dude, what the hell are you talking about? You see what I mean? It's certain things that have to be proven. Even the district attorney has to prove his case. You cannot say in one hand, well, I have these harassment charges. What happened before? Well, can you prove the series of events that led up to that young lady being in the closet, like Michael Jackson or R. Kelly? Can you prove why she would spend a person that she's afraid of that's been harassing her? Why is she spending this money? Why is she not going to a hotel? Then she went to his penthouse. Why he went to a hotel? Does it make sense? You can poke holes, especially when you go to trial. There's a jury of your peers. If I'm on, like, say for instance, I'm on the jury. So I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. So you're telling me that we're all talking as jurors? So you're telling me that this woman was so afraid that she went and spent $800 on a bottle of champagne, kicked it that night, went back to this man's house, and he was the threat, and he went to another hotel? If I'm a harasser, if I'm a woman beater, if I'm a manipulator, if I'm someone who's trying to dominate another person, there's no way in hell I'm leaving that woman out of my sight. Normally, when you're talking about domestic violence cases and stuff like that, when a man is stalking and harassing and causing fear, those are some of the traits. Again, I'm just a brother who worked at the jail, who just went to happen to go to, a few hundred cases, you know what I mean, of domestic violence. I know that's all the expertise I know. Not a lawyer, none of that. Just a brother who worked at the city jail. Let's keep going.
But several women have also stepped up again, to work with the DA. And maybe the DA is trying to build another case that, maybe you didn't put hands on her, but maybe you threatened her. Maybe you harassed her. And if that is what sticks, because it does, look, let's go back. Let's go back to all the charges here. We got assault. We got harassment. Attempted assault. Oh, no, that got dismissed. I'm sorry. Aggravated harassment. Assault with intent. Attempted assault. The DA is throwing a lot of different things to see. And here's the thing. The DA only need one thing to stick. That's all they need. They just need one thing to stick. So this is why I'm saying I understand what Jonathan Majors' lawyer is trying to fight against. And if anything, Majors' lawyer is fighting the worst stuff, right? Because
she's fighting all the things. This is what she's doing. What his lawyer is doing is fighting all the things that you could prove. Like I said, it's not what you know, it's what you could prove. So she's fighting all the things she could prove. Okay, if he said that he choked her, then here's the body cam footage. There's no marks. Check that one off. Okay, we can dismiss that. Okay, now you're saying that she was physically harmed in the car, but you have a witness inside the car, which is Robert De Niro, the taxi driver. Robert De Niro's in the car. You know what I'm saying? He said to Jonathan Majors didn't even raise her voice. Matter of fact, he tried to get out the car. She snatched him back in. You know what I'm saying? Like Scorpion. Get over here. And then, he went and split from her. He took a cab and went back to went to a hotel, which we have footage of. And then because she used his credit card, we also have footage of her kicking it with his money. I mean, doing the electric boogaloo, all that stuff, man. Doing the rerun, she was kicking it, buying drinks for the homies, all of that. She was throwing it in the air. You know what I mean? Then we have her on camera going back to his penthouse in his key. And then when he got home, which is a series of timelines that happened, he found her unconscious. Him and Bookman from Good Times found her unconscious in the closet. Michael Jackson style. Keep it in the closet. And what? What happened? She don't even know what happened to her fingers. She even asked it. They asked her what happened. What happened? What happened? 19 times. The woman said, I don't know. I don't even know how I got here. Who are you? She don't even know. What happened to my finger? So, of course, the district attorney's office is to convict. That's their job. To get a conviction. No matter how small the infraction, you can be caught reckless driving. And if they can just get you for speeding, they just get you for speeding. But we're going to get you for something. That's what your job is. And the defense's job is to clear the person of all charges. Yeah, that's what her job is. What Majors are paying big bucks for her for. He said the DA has to keep going with the charges, even if it's flimsy. You see, they dropped the lesser charges. They also is an indication that the case isn't foolproof. Exactly.
Because I'm assuming, I'm speculating. I don't know, but I'm assuming that if the harassment is the one thing that sticks, that would probably be a lot better than, oh, I put hands on this person. Right? I mean, maybe Jonathan Majors gets a slap on the wrist, stop sending threatening emails or text. I don't know.
I ain't doing that. Fuck. You commercial.
Then I strangled somebody or I put hands on somebody. So maybe that's why I'm saying I feel like the lawyer's doing the PR game in that regard by saying like, yo, we got all this evidence that Jonathan Majors didn't put a hand on nobody. Okay, that's cool.
But you're supposed to. Okay, this is like Tanak Warta came out and said, I have no idea what happened with this woman. I don't know what she tripping for. I mean, I'm trying to get myself together, which I wouldn't have said that, but I mean, this woman's crazy. It's like on Spider-Man, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, when Detective Morales or Officer Morales was like, "Hey, Spider-Man, why'd you create that guy?" It's like, I didn't create him. He's talking crazy. Like, I don't know what he's doing. You know what I mean? He's just crazy. This is the exact same thing. For one, he lost a PR war a long time ago when them text messages came out and nobody looked at the text messages in context. That's why you need to go to Chillmonger's page. My man Chillmonger, go to his channel, go look at the way that he breaks down the text messages. Me and him did it on the show along with Blue. But again, look at the way he broke it down. So again, he lost a PR war a long time ago with the text message. Everybody was like, well, an abuser. Yeah, that sounds like somebody who's protecting an abuser. Now you come to find out, like, wait a minute. He attacked her. She attacked him. Wait a minute. She going to jail? What the hell? What is this? You see how everything flipped. You know what I'm saying? Ain't we lucky we got them? Doom, 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 doom. Good times. Bookman was like, I seen it.
But the DA is still not dropping this stuff, which means the DA believes that they still have enough evidence to make this go to trial and to have this thing stick. And like I said, Jonathan Major's lawyer did not present any information before what happened in the car. Again, maybe the DA has something that happened before that.
But the problem with the beforehand argument is that they can argue, if that was the case, why was you still in the car with Jonathan Majors? They can really argue that. And if you don't have any proof prior to that, I'm not talking about 3 weeks ago. I'm literally talking about a timeline of the day. If you have nothing from the timeline of the day that led up to him getting in the car, then there is no case. There's no case of harassment. If you got in the car after this man said, I'm going to put my foot in your ass, why did you get in the car? If you knew that this man was going to, that's what the defense is going to say. He said, why is he assuming that sticks? He talks about not jumping to conclusions, but assuming it's jumping to conclusions. I mean, you're not lying. And and again, that's what I'm saying. You got to look at if you're looking at what the DA is saying, which I don't trust Alan, whatever his name is. I don't care, Lord Voldemort. Now, I'm not tripping off of what Lord Voldemort is talking about. Because again, what Lord Voldemort is trying to do is trying to convict someone. So he's trying to convict the man. That's what his job is. Chandra, Jonathan Major's lawyer, is trying to prevent him from going to jail. Because ever since this happened, he has said he's innocent. Why am I going to say that I'm innocent? Well, I got to defend myself. Honestly, do you think, you know what, I'm going to defend myself, but hell, I'm not going to talk about what happened before that. No, I don't know what's going on with this lady. She's crazy. That's why I broke up with her. Plain, point, and simple. She tried to get me for my phone. You know what I'm saying? Tried to get out the car. I don't care what happened before that. Because if you can't prove what happened before that, it doesn't matter. And then even if you had a text message said, I'm gonna whoop your ass 5 minutes before we get in the car, which would have been dumb because they would have had a conversation before that, and nobody has jumped forward and say, well, we was with them before they left. And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna slap the shit out that bitch. Hey, if nobody's came out with any of that information yet, and again, we have it to the August 3rd. Again, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. If the DA is just going off a hunch, a speculation, a he say, she said, because normally in these cases, it goes down a he said, she said. And if you can't prove it, then it didn't happen. Let's keep going.
And if that's the case, that's a whole nother defense that needs to happen. So, listen, I'm not a lawyer. Like I said, I'm just kind of going over this. And all I can determine right now, just looking through a lot of these things, looking through the court case files, looking at what these charges actually mean. This is pretty flimsy, by the way.
Extremely flimsy. That's the whole argument. This is weak. This is literally spaghetti noodle right now. They're literally, the district attorney's office is literally spaghetti noodles. There's no way. And again, if it wasn't Jonathan Majors, right, and this was Josh Brolin, who also was in a similar situation as this with his wife, and she ended up dropping the charges, and they agreed to drop the charges, and his case was way more, I mean, when I tell you slam dunk, the man did it. But his wife was like, I don't want to go through this. I'm past this or whatever. They dismissed it, kept it going, kept it pushing. Didn't hear nothing from it. But in this particular situation, it's so spaghetti noodle. Then it's almost like, again, the district attorney is just doing this to prove a point. He's trying to elevate his career with Jonathan Majors. This is what it looks like to me. Because if I'm going to be real with you, if I'm a district attorney and I'm trying to elevate my career, and my office was already getting news articles and stuff about corruption in my police department, especially after I was going around pepper spraying peaceful protesters and all of this, and I'm trying to elevate my career, everybody going down. Everybody got to go. Again, everybody got to go. And for me, if she had that evidence, why did the police need to coerce her at this? Exactly. She would have said it then. Matter of fact, when she would have went downtown, be like, hey, this dude been harassing me here. Here they go. Oh, that's the Dre Mack. That's the Dre Mack show. He ain't been harassing me. He's been just kicking knowledge, son. I hope he proves his innocence and don't double done start hating Majors because they believe he might be guilty of something. Right. What up, Blue? My new partner in crime. I'm Michael Jordan. He's Scottie Pippen. Just don't start hating on him. I was just playing.
I think I found something else. Okay, so this is something else from another lawyer site here, and it was about a third-degree assault. And one thing I found interesting, it said, like, as an intentional crime, simply defines the offense.
I want to go back to, he said, there's one more thing I want to talk about in this. It is way ahead, and he starts talking about the race card.
Fluff right here. All the
need relief now.
I don't care about that. But he starts, eMans pulls up, why do they need to bring up the race card
videos and stuff like that? What the lawyer is trying to do is establish the fact that there was no physical.
Okay, let me kind of go back.
The time. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's go on.
Because I want to go back to the racial biasness part. And I think he's reading
her up. She said in the letter that the arrest was racist and showed the officers questioning amongst themselves how Majors could afford to live in a luxurious penthouse. The lawyer told Insider that all 6 of the responding officers were white. She goes on to say, even though Ms. Jabari admitted to drinking to the point of throwing up, taking sleeping pills, and having no idea how she woke up in a closet with a cut on her head or injured finger, the police jumped to the conclusion that Mr. Majors, the tall, strong, rich black man, must have done this to Ms. Jabari, according to this letter. Now, again, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm going to say none of this matters. Now, I get it. Police, the system of policing, absolutely corrupt. Yes, I'll be the first one to let y'all know and say that for sure. But let me just also mention, this does not have anything to do with the actual charges that are made. Once again, this is more of a PR move.
Okay,
if you can get the public sentiment.
So
that, hey,
he's saying that because he mentions that the police officers didn't know who he was, seen a white woman, half unconscious, you know what I'm saying, gathering herself, that's been half naked in his house. They have no idea who this black man is or how could he even live here. And she comes up injured. That has no bearing on the response from the police. If I'm wrong, eMans, inbox me. Inbox me on Instagram. Hit me up on Twitter. If I'm saying this wrong, but what it sounds like you said, that has no bearing. You getting this is a PR move to get public sentiment to say the cops are racist or they're being prejudiced or biased because they see a rich black man in here with a white woman. Now, this is the argument that I'm going to have to that. Did we not see a white woman kill a black man, even though, that brother has some, I'm not gonna lie, that brother has some tweets. Moo. I mean, the brother was really, I mean, Dr. Umar said the brother was chasing the milk. And end up finding the milkman in the sky. You know what I mean? And how they treated that white woman who killed a black man in court and all of that, compared to how a lot of times black men get treated differently just for dating a white woman. We forget Emmett Till, you know what I'm saying, was not that long ago. You know what I mean? We are, we act like that we haven't went through police shootings. Just a black man grab it, having a weapon that's legally his, putting it on the dashboard, still getting shot. You know what I mean? Legally. That Sandra Bland didn't happen. That white cops don't have biases to black men. To dismiss that altogether and say it doesn't matter is I can't get with you on that one. And again, eMan, if you see this and you say, wait a minute, brother, I think you're taking what I'm saying out of context all totally wrong, then inbox me. We can have a conversation. We can chop it up. We can talk. We can do all of that. But as a man who has seen his own brother be in a situation where the woman was doing something to him, he calls the police. Guess what? They trying to take him to jail. And he's calling about this crazy bitch out here. Like, come on, dude. Like, I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying, maybe I live in a different part of America that I see a lot more things than you have, where you see black men just go to jail for sneezing wrong and all of that. You know what I mean? Like, I literally watched when I worked at the jail. I see, man, do you know how many times that I see black men go to jail? I don't like telling my business, but my daddy will forgive me for this. My daddy went to jail because a woman said something that he did to her, which was totally untrue, because my daddy didn't even like that. And he's locked up to this day. So yes, it's a little sensitive to me because I know my father. My father's not going to tell me no bold-faced lie. There's one thing my daddy might be a lot of things, but one thing he's not is going to look his son directly in his eyes and tell him a bold-faced lie. There's one thing my daddy won't do. My daddy's still locked up to this day. And the woman he was kicking it with was a white woman. And you know they believe this white woman on drugs, all of that. It didn't matter. Because my daddy had a record. A record that had nothing to do with what they charged him with. That was the first time he was ever charged with that crime. But my daddy was a lot of things, but he ain't doing that to no woman. That's why this is why it's so sensitive to me to not just dismiss, like, racial bias does not happen in the criminal justice system, especially someone who was on it. When I became a correctional officer, you know how much my daddy talked crazy to me about that? Because he was locked up. My daddy did 20 years in the penitentiary for his first, we robbed somebody. He robbed an electronics store and stole electronic goods in the 80s. So floor model TVs, the big old stereos with the record player. Yeah, my daddy did that. We're not proud of it, but that's what my daddy did. His first time getting caught doing that, he went to jail for 20 years. He went in, my mama was pregnant. And I'm telling this for a reason. Because it made me want to go into law enforcement. When I was, you know what I mean? When I was younger and I was in as a high school, I was wanting to get into political science or whatever, so we could change the things that we see, the corrupt police departments and all of that. And I know you say you're not dismissing that or anything, but take it from somebody who knows, who's been in the hood, who's been around real things is happening, maybe outside of where you grew up. And I'm not saying eMan to grow up in a certain environment where I don't know how eMan grew up. I don't know how you grew up, brother, but trust me when I tell you there's racial bias in the police department. Trust me when I tell you this. I was a correctional officer for 4 years, working right directly with KCPD. Yes, there is racial biasness. Very much racial biasness. It's unfortunate. But this is what happens. So you cannot dismiss that like, oh, this is a PR move. Trust me when I tell you it's deeper than that. Let me keep going.
Racism is happening. You can now win the court of public opinion, or at least kind of sway it. That's why I'm like, yo, you went for the racism card already? If your evidence was so strong, if the video, the witnesses, and all of that stuff was so strong, why even bring it up?
I'm gonna tell you why to bring it up, because for a black man in America, if you're not squeaky clean, and just like with what's his name? What's his face? Eddie Griffin said, no black man can leave out of Hollywood unscathed. You're gonna have something. Somebody's gonna say something. And because this is a black man with a matter of fact, eMan, all eMan had to do was go to the shade room when all of this dropped, and they found that it was a white woman. Just see how much Negroes changed their tune on Jonathan Major. Remember, Jonathan Major was just in Ebony with his shirt off and muscles and you know what I'm saying? You know, and he's so sexy and all of this. All of this happened. He's been a thug. I see black people call Jonathan Majors a thug. The main thing that Fox News calls us when we sneeze wrong, that thug, that they call Jonathan Majors that. They call Jonathan Majors a sellout because it was just a white woman. You got Dr. Umar coming out talking about he don't need to be messing with these snow bunnies and he's chasing the milk and all of these little funny little quips and stuff like that, destroying his brother. Now, if we can do that, just think what they can do. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And again, I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong, because your opinion, your platform, you have 103 subscribers and subscribe to your channel. I have 1,800. And we've chopped it up before, so I understand. But let's not act like police altercations and stuff like that when it comes to black men and the biasness they have towards black men does not happen. Hell, there was a brother riding a horse in Illinois. They literally got pulled over by a cop and found out that brother could ride his horse on the highway because he knew the law. And it seems like we have to be not only bigger but better at everything. We gotta be bigger and better at our job. We gotta be squeaky clean. We can't get loud because then they'll say we the angry black man, and now I feel fear. You know what I'm saying? We can't be too quiet because then they'll step all over us. We have to walk on eggshells. We got to do so much extra just to be black in this country. Hell, they took away T'Challa when you recasted another Superman. That should tell you about how they feel about us here. Nothing against you, my brother, nothing. There's nothing against you, but they tell you every day who you are.
Okay, so listen to me. I'm not saying that the cops were not racist. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if you got a bag of tricks to win your case, you really need to just start with the strongest evidence. And if your evidence is that strong, you ain't got to go through the bag. You ain't got to go to the bottom of the bag for nothing. But so if you got to pull the racism card,
is that really the bottom of the bag when we deal with racism with the police? How long have we been talking about the interaction between the Black Americans and police? How long have we been talking about this? Literally, how long have we been talking about this? I swear to God, if I go out right now, and I look a certain way, do you think the police is not gonna look at me a little bit differently? If I'm a little darker, if I got dreads and I got braids, and I fit the description. All I gotta do is fit the description. That's it. And I'm done for. I'm done for. So that's not a trick bag. That's something we're continuously fighting every day. And again, I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong, eMan. I'm just giving you a perspective of a brother who's been on that side. I've been on the side of literally racial bias. I didn't like it at all. But this is America. And all I needed was this. All I needed to, you know how many times we got to prove ourselves? We got to turn on the camera improve ourselves? Let's say, for instance, nobody pulled out their camera while George Floyd had a knee on his neck. Would you really, with the world, would it united and say, look what you're doing? Hell, the president of the Philippines said, look, don't talk about what you're doing over, don't talk about what we're doing over here. Look what y'all do to the black man in America every day. This is the president of the Philippines. And he's talking about, look, don't come to my country talking about what's cracking. You need to handle what's cracking at your own place. Literally, we've been talking about racial discrimination, racial bias, and all of this for so long. So we cannot just say, oh, we're digging in the bag of tricks and this. If your evidence is so good, then you wouldn't even have to bring that up. Yes, you do. Because you have to say, you have to show in its totality why 6 white men came into this man's house. He called the police and they took him to jail. You got to explain that. That's part of the situation. It's not just because, oh, here, that's Jonathan Majors, I got to do something differently. No, maybe you would listen to him a lot more. Maybe you would have treated him like his, if Jonathan Majors was blind hair and blue eyes, do you think the situation would have went as far as it did? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. No disrespect to you, my brother. I'm just saying it's a different way. If you've been on the side that I've seen throughout my life, yeah, I think you will understand a little bit better why that's insensitive to me to say, hey, let's pull this racism card at the bottom of the bag just to prove that the cops is racist. Well, maybe that'll get us on the PR move. Maybe fuck the PR. If the cops is being biased, they're being biased. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And again, this video was good. I'm going to link it or whatever. But if eMan feels a certain way about what I'm saying, or he thinks, hey, man, I think you took this thing totally too far. I want this brother. I want you to reach out to me because it's not a slander to you. I'm just debating and giving you a different perspective on my side of that. That's all I'm doing. Not saying you wrong or I hate you or anything. I love you, my brother. But I gotta debate you on this one. Gotta debate you on this one.
I'm just saying, why? I thought we had videos. I thought we had witnesses. Why isn't that enough? So,
because when you black in this country, you got to do everything you possibly can to prove that you're innocent. They didn't do birth. They didn't play birth of a nation at the White House, and black people was just treated all equally and hunky dory, and we was just cool with white people, and we lived side by side in harmony and all of that. I mean, there was a case, and I know he probably remembers that, the case of the 3 white men who caught that guy jogging and dragged him and killed him. And the police knew about it and didn't arrest this guy? Or what about the young man that lives in Kansas City who was just interviewed by Robert Robinson? I can't think of the little brother's name. Who was shot by his white he went to the wrong house. Old white man shot this kid in the face. Shot him in the head. He survived. But it took public outrage. Public outrage for that man to be arrested. Guess what? He got bond. So, if it was a black man who shot a white kid, they would have arrested that nigga on the spot. Matter of fact, he would have never got arrested. Just like we talk about all these, mass shootings and how these people can go to jail in mass shootings. But when it comes to black people, we can't even get out of our car without getting shot. We can't even pick up a wallet without getting shot. We can't say nothing to the police when they're harassing us, or we get taken to jail and then we end up dead in the jail and they figuring out what's going on. Or we forgot about Sandra Bland. What about when you just run up on a 10-year-old kid with a fake gun and you just shoot him immediately? If there's no racist bias, we wouldn't have these stories. That's all I'm saying.
Again, Be careful with stuff like this being said. And by the way, this is only the lawyer talking. She's paid to represent her client. She's also there to repair a lot of the damage. Let's not forget, a lot of damage has been done to Jonathan Majors' career and his image. And it does make sense to try to win some of that public opinion as well. But again, this isn't a situation of the police racially harassing Jonathan Majors. So bringing up racism in this case is not necessarily going to be a strong point to beat the charges that were given against him. We'll go over those in a second.
Okay, now this is the last thing because I'm gonna stop sharing this. This is the last thing, and I'm gonna go into what the real. I didn't mean to go this long on this, but situations like this, because again, there is things like this that when you say things like that, it really you can't rule out. I honestly say don't rule out anything. Don't rule out anything. Now, we just seen that Jonathan Majors did a complaint against it. And this is why I'm going to talk about racial biasness, right? And I understand what he's saying. I understand what he's saying, but I'm saying on his side, don't rule out anything. Don't rule out nothing. Yeah, exactly. So I want to share this because, again, I want to pull a receipt because the day that he did this video, I guess the other day, but this is Loria Italiano. There's something in this that was broke by the insider that makes so much sense. While race can be a factor in this, and I'm a full screen this. Marvel's Jonathan Majors filed a cross complaint against his assault accuser. NYPD finds probable cause for arrest. Source say, hold up. That's not the part that I want y'all to understand. That's not even the part that I want you to understand. This is the part where I start talking about racial biasness. And I want to try to get to this, and then I'm out on this subject. Okay, this is where I'm talking about racial biasness. Both precincts found probable cause to arrest Jabari and issue what is called an incident card or an I-card, electronic document that directs police to take Jabari into custody, or at least for questioning, according to Major's defense attorney Prira Chaudhry and a law enforcement source. So this is just not the lawyer. This is a law enforcement source. But Manhattan prosecutors who are pursuing the case against Majors were for some reason reluctant to turn the tables on Jabari, and at the district attorney's office urging the I-card was deactivated, the two said. Why? Why was the card deactivated? If you got probable cause. Now, this throws all that what happened beforehand out the window. Here's beforehand, and here it goes out the window. Because they had probable cause to arrest her. But for some reason, the I-card was deactivated. You don't think race or anything had anything to do with that? Hold up. Let's keep going. The DA has repeatedly pushed back against investigator or even charging Jabari, despite supporting evidence that includes surveillance footage of the street dispute and of photos of Major's injury. Chaudhry told Insider last week's story. Chaudhry shared some of that evidence with Insider for that story. The DA declined to comment, and NYPD did not immediately respond to a request to comment. Jabari could not be reached by email or phone. Again, if you got the again, what did I say? What did I say earlier? I'm not mad at eMans, but it's not what you know, is what you can prove. And that right there literally shows you that, hey, I tried to file a report on her. There was probable cause, but the district attorney didn't want to arrest the white lady, but sure trying to railroad the black man. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. The burden of proof is on the state. Oh my God. You gotta prove to me without a shadow of a doubt. And this clearly proves that there's some type of biasness with the NYPD. Because again, if their case, just flip it, eMan, if their case was so open and shut that they could convict this man, we got this evidence, then why did they go back? Why did the initial charge say that they had a strangulation charge and they dismissed that? Well, that didn't happen. We broken finger. We can't really get them for that because now they got a timeline of events and they went to the insider, and the insider report. We can't get them on that. We can get them for harassment. That's what we can do. But remember, Jabari, we got probable cause to arrest her. But if you arrest her, well, that drops all of what we're saying against Mr. Majors. That means Mr. Majors was innocent. Nah, let's deactivate that iCard. If we don't want to do this, no probable cause. Nope. Because if we do that, then it makes our flimsy and spaghetti noodle case against him even more horrible than what it is now. There's always two sides of the coin, E. That's all I'm saying. Because if you can say that about Jonathan, you most definitely, damn well can say that about the NYPD. That's all I got to say about that situation. It's all I got to say. And again, and like he said, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a brother who sat in a few hundred court cases before, taking brothers, you know what I'm saying, down to the courthouse. You know what I'm saying? Sitting in on these DV cases. And Judge Hughes is in 16th Circuit Court, because that's where they had it. So, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Now, enough on eMans. And again, like, share, subscribe to eMans channel. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he won't do that for me. I don't know. You know what I mean? But like, share, subscribe to that man's channel. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put the link to that video if you want to see the video in its entirety. I wasn't trying to chop it up or whatever. I was just getting to the points that I was trying to make based on what he said. And I'm going to debate those points. So got love for the brother, all of that. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully he doesn't take what I'm saying as wrong, but understand there's always two sides of the coin. And when you're on that other side and you see it for yourself, then you got a little bit more passion in the game, just thinking you just pulling some tricks out your bag. All I'm saying. Anyway, let's get to the meat and potatoes. I done went all over an hour, you know what I'm saying, with this reaction. What do y'all, okay, before I get to that, what do y'all guys think about this? You know what I'm saying? Is you think eMans is wrong? Is eMans right? You know what I mean? Do you think, he kind of jumped, he just see, and I understand he has a patient wait and see policy on this, and I'm not mad at that, because you have to wait and see what the evidence is. And without a shadow of a doubt, you have to prove guilt, just like you have to prove innocence. You know what I mean? So that's why, lawyers get paid the money that they do. That's one of the reasons why. All right, let's get to, was T'Challa a Skrull? Now, if you guys have been watching Secret Invasion, and everybody who's in here, thumbs up. Make sure you give a brother a thumbs up. You know what I mean? Make sure you give a brother a thumbs up. I ain't asking for no money. I just want a thumbs up. That's it. That's all I want. Share this, retweet it. I don't know. Shout out to everybody who's watching me on Twitter. Shout out to everybody who's watching me on Facebook and on the YouTube channels. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's get to, what's T'Challa was a Skrull? You sure? You think, was T'Challa a Skrull? Now, with Secret Invasion going on and everything, that has been going on. Oh no, let me get to some of the comments too, because Blue said E-Man jumped the gun. It's wait and see, but can you see him leaning towards a certain side? And personally, I see him going, he's in the middle. He said, okay, I can see where the district attorney is saying, you know what I'm saying? So maybe it's not so open and shut, so don't get your hope. Because he did say that multiple times at the beginning of the video, which that's why I want to link the video onto link I'm gonna tag him in this video and link the thing to the video. But he's saying wait and see. He's in the middle. He's not jumping on one side or the other. He's not saying, oh, Jonathan Major's completely innocent. He's not saying Jonathan Major's completely guilty. He's just on one, he's just in the middle. And I don't share that same view, but that is that man's platform. That's his opinion. You know what I'm saying? So I can't be mad at where he sits at in his opinion, but I can counter his opinion with my opinion. I don't think he was a Skrull. Okay, so in Wakanda Forever, a movie that none of us liked, that I know, none of the people that I know liked, we see the casket for Jonathan Majors. I mean, oh Lord. Oh, don't let me say that. I would. For T'Challa, Jesus Christ, because I'm looking at, golly, let me get off of because I was about to pull up the Wakanda funeral. Because I wanna just play it. I'm not gonna, and that's what and Eric, this is what I'm trying to look at. He's looking at it multiple ways. You know what I'm saying? He's not looking at just one way or the other. He's kind of in the middle. But we all remember this this movie. And I'm not gonna play the audio of this, of course. But remember in this scene, just think about it for just a second. There was no Nick Fury wasn't there. You know what I mean? Nick Fury wasn't there. Of course, they're not going to show a body double or anything for T'Challa. T'Challa was supposed to take the heart-shaped herb, and it wasn't supposed to have any illnesses, but this illness got him. And the only thing I could think about is something that they did in yesterday's episode is whatever the blue stuff that they gave Farnsworth, Laura Farnsworth or whatever her name is, where she shot up in dude's arm and that blood started boiling or whatever. You know what I mean? It affected the Skrull, right? So I'm thinking to myself, why couldn't the kid? We've already seen different councilmen and stuff like that become Skrulls. Wouldn't it be out the realm of possibility if 1 million Skrulls came to Earth? You don't think none of them was going to take the place of a war dog in Wakanda? It did infiltrate Wakanda. We already see Everett Ross as a Skrull. Even though they killed him in the first episode, we actually seen him as a Skrull. Did we ever see? They never showed like them preparing the body or anything. I think it was too the extremists. You know what I mean? And again, this is fantasy. This is just a theory. Marvel made his bed with killing the characters, so they have to live with it. I don't think Nate Moore will walk back his decision. It's a great idea. Unfortunately, I don't think Marvel has the balls to do it. It'd be awesome. That's why I'm bringing it up, because it doesn't hurt to make a video on this. But we never see. Of course, we don't want to see the body, but we never seen the body or anything. They just said, he tried to save his brother. Now, you know what I mean? This brother right here, I don't know what funeral he had, but he kicking it. But you know what I mean? They just lift him up in the hold on, let me skip past this. This is kind of, I ain't gonna lie, this is heartbreaking, honestly. But they just take him up in the ship. You know what I'm saying? They say the goodbyes and take him up in the ship. You know what I mean? This is heartbreak. I'm not gonna lie. The first time I seen this, dog, I'm first of all, I'm crying because they didn't have to do this. They didn't have to do this. Now, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of reason why they could do this, and he could be a Skrull. Hopefully, they still have this. This is heartbreaking. I don't want to keep showing this. This is terrible. That's hard to watch. That's hard to watch. Ed Blues has exactly it would have been a minute he screwed up. That's why he needs to go. Exactly. That's all I'm doing. I want to prove that they messed this up. Recast T'Challa is still on. I don't care what nobody say. And the Wakanda funeral makes no sense. They lifted T'Challa into heaven. Like they didn't he have to get buried to the ancestral place? Exactly. You think they took him in the Skrull spaceship? I don't know what they did. But that's one of the I don't know what they did. They did bury him. This scene, not only did it irk me, they didn't have to do it because they literally tied Chadwick to T'Challa, and that was unfair. And it was like we was watching a funeral of Chadwick Boseman all over again, and that sucked. That sucked. That's heartbreaking. I don't want to live. It was already hard enough seeing my kids who really just started getting into Marvel. You know what I'm saying? My boys getting into Marvel. You know what I'm saying? They were young. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's 9 years old, 10 years old. Like, hey, is he ever coming back? You know what I mean? And he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? That was hard. That was harsh to even think about that. Now, this is a theory that I got. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if it's a little boat thing. And y'all know what I'm talking about once you see it. And I'm not talking about to Junior either. I ain't talking about him. Oh, let me see. I think it was a Disney cruise or I think that's what it was. Here it is. Here it is. He said, but this said the moment when Shuri got reunited through the multiverse. But let me full screen this real quick. Bloop. This is what I'm talking about. I don't know if you guys seen this, but yeah. But said this is a moment. Now they did this on the Disney cruise, right? They did this on the Disney cruise. Now, would it be more impactful if you go around? That would explain why a person who cannot die because they have the heart-shaped herb, right? They cannot die from illness. That he was taken by Skrulls and he was replaced. Just think about it like that. That's all I'm saying. Think about it like that. That a Skrull replaced him after the blip because they were trying to infiltrate. That's why they had so many diplomatic plans and all of this. You could say T'Challa was, even if you say that he was a Skrull, that another Skrull killed him so they could be able to advance more of the political power. You know what I'm saying? In Wakanda, somebody brought up M'Baku being a Skrull. You know what I'm saying? That would make more sense because now, who is the king of Wakanda? I'm saying this could be an easy retcon. T'Challa as a Skrull could work easily, and it would fit right in the line with this story. And exactly, remember the storyline of Secret Invasion. Who can you trust? Everett Ross. This is what I'm saying. Everett Ross was the liaison, basically, to Wakanda. Who did he work closely with? T'Challa. Do you not think if he was a Skrull that he could have had, T'Challa replaced at any point in time with another Skrull, but that Skrull died? Maybe there's something that was in Wakanda that they ate or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because he kind of makes a emphasis with that Gallic said in episode 2, you're eating the white you're being the white man. Lord have mercy. He's eating the man's food, drinking the man's wine, da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Like he said all of this for a reason. You know what I mean? So there's an easy way for them to be able to do this. So yes, it could work very easily. My man Chillmonger, make sure you follow this man's channel. This man called Miss Jabari, Stephanie McMahon Hemsley, the wrestling fan in me died tonight. I was rolling at work. But make sure you watch his coverage of Jonathan Majors. It is, not only is it an amazing breakdown, it is a great insight, and there's enough comedy to have you engaged in that. It is awesome. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to my man Chillmonger's channel. But the Rikishi dance guy, he said Jabari was in the club dancing like Rikishi. It did show the Rikishi. Oh my God, I died. But that was awesome. Shout out to Chill. Excellent video, brother. Excellent video. So make sure y'all checking out my man. They charge admission to watch it on screen. Exactly. That's what hurt. Dog, I cried. I'm not gonna lie. If people thought I was just crying because this is no, it's sad, and this is a public display, man. Y'all didn't have to do it. I cried, dog. It was hard. That's why I've not watched Wakanda Forever since then. Maybe I do need to watch it again, you know what I'm saying? Because Secret Invasion is going on, and maybe I can make a theory video or whatever. But man, that hurt. That hurt. Exactly, Andre. Exactly. This is a fantasy world. You can't tell me Marvel can't bring back T'Challa. And remember when our good buddy Warren, and that's why I said I'm not biased. I you know, when it comes to when Warren was putting out his videos, I was going at Warren. Not saying that he's wrong or whatever, just looking at it another angle, the way you promoting or you're telling the story. eMan, you know what I'm saying? It's not that I don't like him or anything like that. It's the way that you're reporting the story. It's it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing against none of these people. It's just when I feel a certain way, I'm going to react, and I'm going to give my perspective on that. You know what I'm saying? You know, because I believe two men can have a disagreement and still find common ground, even in our disagreement. You know what I'm saying? It's intellectual intimacy, if you want to know that. But anyway, Chill had me dying. Chill had me dying last night at work. People are saying T'Challa Jr. is a Skrull. I don't think so. You know what I mean? This is what I'm saying. If you watch this little clip in here, this is T'Challa coming back to Shuri. Now, let's say, for instance, you know what I'm saying? You find out that that T'Challa has been in one of these little mental things. That's why he knew what everything was going on, all of that. But it was some shenanigans that led to the Skrull T'Challa being dying. Because in Baku, you know, or whatever story you got to make up. Or, you know, he was eating so much of the man's food that he died of an illness. Because we find out that Skrulls are, you know, immune to something, or they can't eat certain foods on Earth. Let's just say, for instance, that's the case, right? Now, that will explain why Everett Ross was still meeting with the Wakandans, right? That was still, because now we've seen that he was a Skrull, right? Then we start having to asking, well, who else was a Skrull? Why did his sister Shuri see Killmonger in the ancestral plane and not her father, which the actor is not dead, or her brother? Why did she see Killmonger? She didn't have no, for real, she didn't have no ties with Killmonger for her to see him in the ancestral plane. Besides them being cousins, that's about it. Yeah, I mean, because they're cousins. But other than that, she had no close ties to Killmonger. Because she had this fury and this rage. If you know the Black Panther, he's more like Killmonger as far as like defending Wakanda. If you haven't read Christopher Priest's run, and matter of fact, even if you go to Black Panther what is it, number, is it 20 through like 27 in the Christopher Priest run? Because I have Deadpool, I have Black Panther number 23 and Deadpool number, I think it's like 42. It's the Cat Trap, part 1 and 2. Killmonger was just as great as a king of Wakanda as T'Challa was too. And people forget about that Christopher Priest run when it was there. But as far as like defending Wakanda, there's no difference between him and T'Challa. Killmonger and T'Challa as far as defending the people of Wakanda, because it was always Wakanda first. You know what I'm saying? Killmonger just felt like I could do it better. You know what I mean? So again, why didn't Shuri see her own daddy? Why didn't she see her mama? Why didn't she see T'Challa? All I'm saying, T'Challa and Nakia is Skrulls. The child and Nakia is Skrulls. Watching the whole film was extremely annoying. It's some good parts in there, but man, it's overshadowed by the beginning of the movie. That's what hurts, because Michael B. Jordan is Ryan's guy, hence the cameo. In story, if you're talking about storytelling wise, it absolutely makes no sense, because you got this fury and this rage. What do you think her daddy had? Her daddy killed his daddy. So he had to have something for him, but like, oh, you ain't gonna go snitching to put them claws in his chest. Yeah, he had a problem. That's why T'Challa went to go see him in the ancestral plane, because he wanted to be a better king. Why didn't she see her father and say, I want to be a better, how can how can I be better? I want to see my brother. I let my brother down, and have a father comfort the child. Man, let me stop preaching. Let me stop preaching. The queen would have seen his body turn into a Skrull when he died. And that's the only hiccup. But since that was never seen, is not what you can. Why would you can? It's not what you know. It's what you can prove. And what that movie proved is they didn't show none of that. Putting cloths over, wrapping them up like a mummy, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? And remember Nick Fury faked his own death, and he did something to slow his heart rate down so much. You know what I'm saying? That it looked like he died, but he didn't. You know what I mean? What you know what I mean? That's probably why that box was so light. You know what I'm saying? That they just all the Dora Milaje lifted up, and it just floated, just easily floated up up into space. I don't know. Slap you right all the way around. All previous Panthers got that potential rate. Exactly. Why didn't they see the first? Why didn't she see the first female Black Panther? That would have been hella dope. I can't think of her name. It's in one of the videos I did. Not to try to be a Debbie Downer. No, but I like that. I thank you for that, because it makes me think of how can we write this in a way, like if I was to write that T'Challa, that version of T'Challa was a Skrull. Because remember, who do you trust? And remember with Secret Invasion, was it the first issue where they had all the superheroes as Skrulls that they drew in the panel? Why not Black Panther? He's not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I know, that's still funny. Instead of writing a dope story, they wrote it a way that they could exploit Chadwick's death for the film, and it didn't work. It did not work. Shuri don't believe in their religion, but yet and just think about this. She did believe in their religion, but yet she went to the ancestral plane. Does that make sense? If I don't believe in God, do you think I should go to heaven? Like if that or I don't know anybody's religion, so I'm not even about to go there and start and start disrespecting anybody else's language or anybody else's religion. But if I don't believe in so-and-so's religion, like if I don't believe, if I'm not a Muslim, do you think I should go to see Muhammad or whatever? Like, it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. But don't even mess with her, like, especially in the comics. No. Say he took the triangle shaped herb that slows your heartbeat down. He's fine now. It's something. But then they were like, well, why do you do that? You know what I mean? I don't know. Even if Ryan Coogler was trying to honor Chadwick, the writing was terrible. It didn't make that part did not make sense. If she didn't believe in a religion, she was doubting the religion because she was looking at science over religion, which is something that we debate with a lot. You know what I'm saying? Science over religion. Then that would go to the point where you get to say, well, she doesn't deserve to go to the ancestral plane. Matter of fact, they should have had Shuri meet Boss, period. Now, wouldn't that have been better if they would have just if she would have went to go see Boss, the Panther goddess, to put her just like they did in the Dark Reign, what was that? The Black Panther Dark Reign, where she becomes Black Panther for the first time. That's all I'm saying. It's a way that you can be able to do it where it makes sense. And all I'm doing is trying to make sense of this. It is hard because they put themselves in a corner. They literally put themselves in a corner where I don't know where you get out of. Man, I'm gonna give this live another about 6 minutes tonight. I didn't know I was gonna go this long, but yeah. She should have to prove her worthiness. Exactly. Boss has been MIA and everything, but exactly. They say glory to Boss and glory to Anuman. You know what I mean? But hell, we even got to see the Duai and we got to see the hippo goddess in Moon Knight. And then Bosses. I mean, we got to see Khonshu and all of this in Moon Knight. But when it comes to Black Panther, this is why, man. Throw y'all comments in the comment section for me. Throw y'all or questions if y'all got questions. Because it's pissing me off every more and more I think about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking about it. So if y'all got questions or whatever, put it in the comment section. Because, God, I'm just thinking about it like, yo, they put these different gods and stuff like that in Moon Knight and totally ignored it in Black Panther. They didn't believe honestly, they thought Black Panther was gonna make Ant-Man numbers. That's how much they did. It was like, oh, they could make this. We're gonna make him the leader of the. You're gonna make him the leader of the Avengers. And then what happened? You're not even making a Black Panther 3. They have no plans to make a Black Panther 3. Yeah, it literally Bosses in Thor Love and Thunder. It's a blink if you miss it. Literally, it's a blink. They put more time into the teacup dude. You know what I'm saying? And into the Game of Thrones rock metal guy. You know what I'm guy from whatchamacallit's thing. But Boss, nah, don't need that. Since Marvel like doing the opposite of the source material, if they kill him off in the comics, they'll resurrect him in the MCU. Exactly. Don't give in to the dark side. Dog, I watched a lot of Star Wars. And I'm gonna tell you what Revenge of the Sith is my favorite. Let me put it. Revenge of the Sith is my favorite Star Wars movie. That's all I'm gonna say. So Moon Knight was a perfect opportunity to showcase Boss and tease in Saber Nur. I think Sabah Nur. It's so much like there's so much that they could be able to do now with this because you introduce. That's why I said people's like, I like Moon Knight. I like Moon Knight. Moon Knight opened up all of the gods and all these people that they take on avatars. Boss is one of them. You know what I mean? So there's a perfect opportunity to introduce this. It maybe Remember, she found Doom worthy. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, she found Doom worthy. I'm just saying, there's so much that they could be able to do. What they do, all I'm trying to do is recast T'Challa. Even if eMans don't say it no more, I'm gonna say it. Recast T'Challa. That's all I'm gonna say. So what do y'all think? Was T'Challa a Skrull? Can we prove to him he was a Skrull? You know what I mean? Put in the comment section. If you watch this on replay, it wasn't supposed to go this long. It was not supposed to go this long. But we're here. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. But again, I'm about to go ahead and Moon Knight will have 4 years between seasons. We needed it to have momentum. Exactly. Hold on, wait a minute. ROTS. I'm trying to figure out what that acronym stands for. Because I'm sleepy, dude. Y'all forget I get off of work and I do this live. And normally I'm supposed to be off at like 8. ROTS. You got to put the acronym down because you're a smart brother at Dre. Laugh out loud. I'm trying to figure out. Man, I can't think right now. Doom was hella worthy. Oh, Revenge of the Sith. Oh, yeah. Revenge of the Sith is my favorite. Yeah, that's how sleepy I had a guy. Revenge of the Sith is my favorite Star Wars movie of all time. First of all, Anakin was gangster. Anakin was gangster. That man pulled up on the younglings and pulled out the saber. That was gangster. I don't care what nobody say. That was dope. But anyway, let me get to this one last video, and then I'm gonna let you guys go.
What's up? This your man Dre Mac. Want a chance to win a little bit of my money?
Got my money?
Well, all you got to do is like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Go ahead and hit the bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. You know why? Because I'm trying to hit 2,000 subscribers.
Baby needs shoes. My wife needs clothes.
Once I hit 2,000 subscribers, if you like, share, and subscribe to this channel, you will actually have a chance to win a $100 gift card.
Nothing.
Again, like, share, subscribe, share with your friends. Once I hit 2,000 subscribers, I'm giving away $100. Want a chance to win? All you got to do is do that, and I'll see you on the other side. Hopefully, you're the winner.
All right, and that contest is still going on once I hit 2,000 subscribers. So make sure if it's the first time you watching this video or watching this channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe to the video. Make sure you hit the bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. We get to some of these comments or whatever real quick. Yeah, well, peace. Facts, man. I love Anakin in that movie. Oh my God. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
Hopefully that's Jonathan Majors when he goes to court. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in to the Dre Mac Show. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. Until next time, I'll holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Y'all have a good rest of your Thursday, man. Where my outro at?
If you came to this part of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you want to get a little bit more personal with me, make sure that you follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe higher.